Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Matisse in the monogram canvas. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Lauren Smith. I'm saving up for my first Chanel piece. I don't live near a boutique, so when I'm ready, what are the best next steps? Can I just walk in and ask for it? I get the sense that's not how it works. Any tips for a first timer? This is a fabulous question, and you can most certainly go into any boutique at any point in time and ask to see an item that it is that you're looking for. If it's a wallet on chain, if it's a classic flap, if it's a brooch, whatever it is, you can most certainly go in there and ask. I do have a few steps that I would recommend doing. First and foremost is when you are thinking about buying an item, I would do quite a bit of research on it. That way you can really pinpoint what it is that you're looking for. That way when you're at the boutique, the sales associate also has a better sense of what you're looking for, and they can recommend something if, let's say, that the item that you originally thought about getting doesn't necessarily work out. They can recommend something along those lines. Another thing that I would end up doing is, since you do live farther away from the boutique, I would call that same store and ask them if they have the item or items that you are looking to see. Maybe it's something that they can transfer in from another boutique. That way you're not wasting gas or wasting time getting to the boutique and they don't have anything. That way they can end up having the item so they can show it to you. They can get it transferred in, as I mentioned. Or you can even set up an appointment with a sales associate so that you know you have someone there that can end up helping you out when you go into the boutique. And that way you don't have to wait around or anything like that. Let's say that it's a boutique that's very, very busy. Like I said, having that appointment, you can just walk in and you say, I'm looking for Sally, I'm looking for Billy Bob or whoever, and then you have that time slot with the sales associate. Another thing that I would do is, so you already have the research, you already know what it is that you want to get. I would ask the sales associate questions. Take your time looking at the item. Don't feel rushed. Don't get intimidated by the sales associates. Some of them are so incredibly kind. Some of them are so happy to help and be able to answer questions that you have. Some others, it's like pulling teeth. I've said this before. They're not very forthcoming with information, but with the price points that these items have, it's always important, it's imperative that you feel comfortable as the customer. If you are feeling uneasy about something, or if it just doesn't make sense, or if you're just kind of, maybe this isn't the right time for it, take your time deciding. Don't give in to the intimidation. Don't give in to, well, I've been here for an hour. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting their time. Because when it comes down to it, like I said before, it's about how comfortable you feel. So that way when you walk out of the boutique, then you don't have any of the buyer's remorse. You don't have any of, any of those feelings. You just feel like, okay, I made my purchase. I'm super, super excited. I'm super happy. I can't wait to use it, or something along those lines. So take your time, when you're there. I would also recommend, let's say that you and the sales associate mesh really, really well. I would recommend getting their sales card. I know a lot of them end up doing that anyways, but that way it's a really great way to build a relationship with the sales associate. So let's say that you buy this item, when you're there, and then you're thinking, well, maybe I want to get a wallet later on. I would still continue to use the same associate. That way, again, you're building that relationship and you're going back to that same one. And that way it's not only a great way for them to exactly know what it is that you like. Let's say that you are a diehard fan of caviar leather. If they end up getting new caviar items in, they can end up calling you and say, hey, just so you know, we got these in. I don't know if you'd be interested. So again, that relationship starts to blossom very, very well. If you were sure when you were going into the boutique and now you're unsure while you're there, just make sure and listen to your intuition. I know sometimes sales associates might say certain things to try to push a sale, but it's all a matter of timing. And if you feel comfortable with the purchase, if it's something that works out for you, then that's all that matters. I would also, if you are looking to get a bag let's say that you normally end up carrying larger bags and you're looking to get a smaller bag, I would end up carrying the essentials that you are looking to fit inside of that smaller bag, just to see how it ends up working out. That way you can walk around the boutique, you can try it on and see if it feels comfortable or not, if it's crossbody or whatever it is. And most importantly, have fun. I hope you have a blast when you're there. You get to try stuff on, ask questions, and feel comfortable with your sales associate. And hopefully you get one that is very forthcoming with information, one that really pinpoints what it is that you're looking for. And hopefully, your first time experience when you're in Chanel is just a memorable one. But I hope that was able to answer your question. Next question from Shellbeans30. I will be going to a formal event. I'm thinking of buying a wallet on chain to use. My question, which walk is best for a formal event? Dior, YSL, or the Chanel? This is a great question, and to be honest, I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I have a little bit of eye candy here. Here I have the Chanel wallet on chain. I do love this. I think it's a great size to be able to use crossbody or to be able to hide the chain to use as a clutch if you're going to the event. And it doesn't have too much hard work going on. So the double CC is very inconspicuous, but the quilting just speaks volumes. And out of the three of them, this one holds its resale value the best. Here I have the Dior Diorama Cruise wallet on chain. This is very similar to the regular wallet on chain. The biggest difference is that this is a little bit longer, and it has more credit card slots than the other one does. But this one just has, I love the way that the hardware looks with this, and the chain is probably my favorite on the Dior. I just love the way that it glistens, and it has Dior very inconspicuous on the hardware there. So it's not too loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't have the logos everywhere. And then the YSL, I also like it. The pebbled leather is amazing. I think it has, it wears so beautifully. The biggest thing to take into consideration with that one is, like I said, I think that they're all great. The YSL just does have bigger hardware, so it's a little bit more noticeable compared to the other two that seem to be a little bit more inconspicuous. But like I said, the Chanel holds its resale value the best out of the three. I think that they're all, they all have great lengths on them to be able to wear them crossbody or on your shoulder, or again, you can end up hiding the chain. And the great thing about the Dior, like I said, not necessarily this one, but the Dior, you can actually end up taking off the chain completely, so you don't have to give way, or you don't have to give space to anything else, and you can maximize your space inside of the bag. So that's another great thing. So I don't know if that helps or not, but hopefully that was able to give you a little bit of, a little bit of insight on those three. But you can't go wrong with any of them. All right, next question from Catherine W. I just bought a Chanel O coin purse in black caviar with gold hardware. Congratulations. My concern is for the wear and tear on the double CC that is on the front. I use this item every day and I'm afraid it'll fall off or something crazy like that. What has been your experience with your items? This is a wonderful question, and I have the Chanel O-Zip coin purse. I always forget the name. I don't know why. I have the Chanel O-Zip coin purse in the black caviar with the gold hardware. And to be honest, I have never experienced any problem with the double CC falling off. I really like the fact that this has the gold hardware, or that has the metal hardware. I do have some of the other ones that have the plastic zipper. I'm not the biggest fan of those. I've kind of discussed that before, but I feel that these are very, very hard wearing. I love this item. I think it's one of the best, really one of the best small leather goods for the fashion house. And the biggest thing to note when it comes to this O-Zip is that you will end up getting hairline scratches on the hardware. It won't end up falling off. I haven't had it, like I said, I haven't had any issues with it becoming detached or anything like that. I really think that it is that it's sewn in between the caviar and the lining, so that way it's a little bit more sturdy, so you don't have to worry about that. But you will just end up seeing quite a bit of hairline scratches throughout it. And I was super careful with it, well, kind of in the beginning when I was using it, and then I was just kind of like, you know what, it is what it is. When it comes to wallets, I need something that's going to be very hard wearing, something that's going to, something that's going to last. I don't want to baby my wallets, my key holders, or my catch-alls. Those are the three that I'm really just like, I just go to town on those things, you know what I mean? But no, I haven't had any problems whatsoever. And like I said, I definitely recommend the metal hardware versus the plastic, just because I have that same, I even thought the same thing. I'm like, what if the plastic ends up popping off? I haven't had that happen. But just the hardware is where you're really going to notice the scratches on it. But no, enjoy that item and congratulations. I love it. I hope you love it as much as I do. Next question from Brian C. I've been thinking about getting the amazing, beautiful, yet very pricey iPhone iTrunk case and reverse mono for my iPhone 7. Do you think it's worth buying considering the price and how often we change phones? I feel if I get it, I'll keep my phone for about 5 years. Are they limited for the season or are they part of the Louis Vuitton collection? I keep hearing different things. Also, do you see yourself buying one? If so, why? And which canvas? If not, why? This is a wonderful question, and the Louis Vuitton iPhone iTrunk case for the iPhone 7 is $1,180 here in the States, and for the iPhone 7 Plus, I believe it's $1,250 or $1,230, somewhere around there. Now, I think that I agree with you. I think they are stunning. They are gorgeous, and the way that the hardware looks on the case is just I mean, I remember seeing it at the boutique when they first launched, and my sales associate brought it out, and I was just like, oh my goodness, that is stunning, absolutely stunning. And then I saw the price point, I'm like, wait a minute, a little too much for my own taste. But that doesn't mean that it's not gorgeous, right? Now, they did say that, well, I actually had one of my sales associates say that it is limited. More so the reverse than the monogram, and I had another one say that it is going to be part of their permanent collection. They'll just end up bringing out different sizes for the different phones as they come out. So I don't know. I'm not too sure on that. But would I end up getting one? As much as I like them and as beautiful as they are not for me. Only because the way that I see it, when it comes to iPhone cases, I am really hard on my phone, kind of like what I just talked about with small leather goods. There are certain small leather goods that I'm a lot harder on. And when it comes to cases, my phone is either in my back pocket, it's in my hand. I have dropped my phone multiple times. I can't believe it's not even cracked, which kind of, it kind of surprises me, to be honest. I'm very clumsy when it comes to it. And because of the price point that it has, I would be devastated if I end up getting a scratch on it, if I ended up getting the wear and tear that it would get, because I know how much I would end up, you know, how bad it would end up being once I started to really use it the way that I do my other iPhone cases. Now, there is one thing to note when it comes to these cases, because as you said, the technology is always changing. The phones are always getting bigger, they're getting smaller, they're changing so many different things on them. They don't end up holding the resale value the best, which is a shame considering the price point that they have. I mean, even if you look at iPhone cases from a few years back, they are like 75% of the difference of price from what they were when they first came out. So that's just one thing to take into consideration. But I think that when it comes to cases in general, it's all a matter of personal preference. If it's something that you love, if you think that it's something that you'll end up using for more than the year or 2 years or whatever it is, I know myself, I end up holding onto my phones for quite some time. You know, I think I have one of the oldest phones, I think, on YouTube, but it is what it is. I think that if it's something that you like and it just makes your heart sing, then go for it, you know, but just keep that in mind that they don't hold their resale value the best. And it's just one of those things that you just want to be able to enjoy because it is just jaw-droppingly gorgeous. So unfortunately, it is not for me. If I did, you know, if I ever ended up getting one, I think I would prefer the reverse over the monogram, just because, again, I feel that the hardware just glistens oh so beautifully on that reverse monogram. I don't know what it is about that print that just kind of, I feel like, I mean, I'm a big fan of monogram, but I feel that when it comes to the reverse, the colors just kind of bring the gold hardware just to life. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from BC107. How do you feel about sponsored videos? I don't like how some YouTubers hide the fact that their videos are sponsored. Wonderful question, and unfortunately I can only speak for myself. But when it comes to sponsored videos, I think it's pretty awesome that you get to talk about an item that you really like, you're getting paid to talk about it, but I think that it is imperative for, number one, the honesty to be there, and number two, the transparency as well. Because I will admit there's also a few YouTubers that I know that hide the sponsored videos very, very easily. And throughout the years that I've been on YouTube, I've had companies reach out to me and say, hey, we want you to talk about this product. And don't get me wrong, it would be great to have all of those free products, but 99% of the time I end up turning them down because it's something that doesn't really end up working out for me. For example, I've had companies that that want to send me fake eyelashes. We all know how I am when it comes to fake eyelashes, all right? They don't end up working out. I've had companies want to send me hair extensions. I don't wear hair extensions, so that's not something that ends up working out. And I've also had companies that want to send me products, and I always ask them, can I be honest with my viewers? Can I be honest with my friends on YouTube? And, they'll say, well, we want to pay you X, Y, and Z, this amount to talk about this item. And you have to say how much you love it, how great it is, that it's part of your routine, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And I've even said, well, what if it doesn't end up working out for me? Can I let them know that it doesn't do what you're saying it does? And almost always the company says, you know what, we'd prefer not to have any negative publicity. We'll just part our ways. And I just feel like, okay, well, how is the public supposed to know if an item really works if you're paying people to only say how great it is? So that also doesn't work out for me. If I get the opportunity to do a sponsored video, trust me, not only, or even when companies send me an item, I always say that on the video. I say the company reached out to me, or I got this from this company, or whatever it is. I'm always super honest. I'm always super transparent about what it is that has been gifted to me. You know what I mean? I will also put down the description box below if it was, if this video was sponsored by blah, 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 or whoever. Like I said, I haven't had that opportunity, but I feel that it's important to have that on there. But I also feel that it's important to talk about items that you love, or talk about items that, even if you don't love, that you're able to be honest about, hey, it doesn't really work out. It doesn't really work out for me, or whatever it is. I am not the type of person that I'm, someone actually said, it's such a bummer that I feel this way. It is what it is, but I can't be paid to say how great something is. You guys know, you guys can read me like a book. If I like something, you can tell. It is written all over my face. If I don't like something, you can tell that as well. So for me to have to act a certain way, to have to say something that I don't feel just to get paid, that's not me. That doesn't end up working out for me. And someone said that I won't have a successful YouTube channel because of it. And if that's the case, so be it. It's just not what I'm about. If I like something, if I truly believe in it, if I think it's fantastic, that's when I'll come to you guys and say, try this product out. It is crazy good, or whatever it is, So I think that, as I said before, it's important to stay true to who you are. It's important to be honest, and it's important to be transparent when it comes to that, because you don't want to mislead someone about how fantastic something is just because you're getting paid. You know what I mean? So those are my views, but there's no shame in the game when it comes to sponsored videos, as I said before, as far as if that's what you like, and if you're recommending it, or if you're able to give the good, the bad, and the ugly, then more power to you. But honesty is something that I hold in very high regard. So yeah, maybe I won't have a successful YouTube channel. I don't care, but I'm going to stay true to who I am. But hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Queen Esk. Hopefully I said that correctly. Would like your suggestions about the best time to purchase a luxe bag, like Chanel. I'm concerned about low inventory during the holiday season. I'm thinking about buying my first flat, but I'm stuck between the medium large and the jumbo. This is an awesome question, and when it comes to the availability of classic flaps, it all depends on the boutique. Some boutiques that get quite a bit of foot traffic, that are somewhere in the city, or somewhere that you get a lot of tourism, I've noticed that those end up getting a lot more inventory for the holiday season because of gifts or whatnot, versus some of the other boutiques that don't have as much foot traffic, that they might end up getting maybe one or two, versus the popular one might end up getting 4 or 5. It all depends. But I would still take your time deciding between the two, the medium large and the jumbo. Both of them are great. That way you can really end up figuring out which one ends up working out for your lifestyle the best. But one of the greatest things about Chanel is the fact that they can actually end up transferring one in from a different location. So let's say that you are set on the jumbo. You're ready to go. You go into the boutique and they don't have any. They can always transfer one in from a different store, compared to some of the other fashion houses that don't do store-to-store transfers anymore, such as Louis Vuitton. So that's what I would end up doing. You can also check out the department stores. They also get quite a bit of inventory for the holiday season. I know Nordstrom gets quite a bit, Neiman's. Again, it all depends on on where you live. But if you want to avoid completely the crowds of having to get one transferred in from a boutique, then I would try to avoid going for a classic flap anytime during the holiday season. I would try to get it beforehand. Another holiday that seems to wipe out the shelves is Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Those three, so Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Mother's Day, are when it seems like all of the boutiques are getting hit up, and they have, they have very, very low quantities on most of their items, not necessarily classic flaps, just in general, because of all the gift giving that's going around. So if you want to avoid that, then I would end up going for a bag anytime before then, anytime those season or anytime those holidays are around. But just remember, you can always get one transferred in from a different location. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Terrafin Sidker. What do you think of Louis Vuitton footwear? Is it worth a splurge? And if you were in the market for some new foot candy, what would you consider purchasing? Fantastic question. And what do I think of Louis Vuitton footwear? I love it. I used to have a pair of Oxford ballerinas in this gorgeous vernis, and I like them. I didn't use them very often, but I think that the craftsmanship that Louis Vuitton shoes have is just exquisite. I love them. I love the details that they have, and you can just feel the quality that they have compared to some of the other fashion houses. Now, I will be honest with you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, we went to an event for Louis Vuitton. I think it was now 2 or 3 weeks ago. They had a fashion show, and I ended up showing some front rows on my Instagram. I actually ended up purchasing the reverse front row sneakers. I think they are gorgeous. I love both of them. Whether you get the reverse, whether you get the monogram, and they even have them with like sparkles and glitter, and you guys all know how I feel about that. But when I was actually purchasing them, when I was talking to Lauren, I told her that I don't have the appropriate socks because I was wearing my Chanel ballerina flats, and I said I want to see how they'll end up fitting with the socks that I want to wear them with, because I also like to wear socks with with my sneakers. I feel super weird about that. I wear them with my espadrilles. But I took them home. Like I said, I bought them, I took them home, and they were actually a little too tight when I ended up putting it on with the sock. I took the socks when I went to Louis Vuitton to see if a different size would end up working out. And I'm actually right in between sizes, so I ended up returning them. But I like the front row. From what I felt when I was trying them on, they seem to be extremely comfortable. They're leather lined. And one thing I really like about the front row is that you could actually end up taking off the insole, and if you needed a type of insert where you, I don't know, if you had, if you needed a little bit more support or whatever it is, if you need a little bit more arch support, if you will, you can end up putting your own inserts in there. So I really like that as well, but they didn't end up working out. But as far as it being worth it, like I said before with the iPhone trunk case, it's all a matter of personal preference. If it's something that you feel that you'll end up using quite a bit versus having something just sit on your shelf, then I absolutely think it's worth it. The craftsmanship that they have and their price point, I think, is a little bit more friendly than some of the other fashion houses. But if I was to get some, unfortunately, like I said, I can't fit into the front row. I do like their ballerinas, not necessarily the Oxfords that I had, but they have another type of shoe there. But I really like their boots, to be honest. I tried on some of their boots. They looked very 60-esque, 60s-esque, but I like their boots, and they feel really sturdy. So if I was to get some Louis Vuitton shoes, they would either be sneakers, not necessarily the front row, or maybe they're boots, because I think that they are gorgeous. But yes, it's all a matter if you'll end up using the item, if it makes it worth it. But great question, and hopefully that was able to help. Next one from UV, hopefully I said that correctly. I'm looking to get one tiny little piece from Louis Vuitton that I can only get in Hawaii, as I'm going to Europe next year and holding out for cheaper prices. Any recommendations? This is a fabulous question. Now, when it comes to destination pieces such as the pieces that they sell exclusively in Hawaii for Louis Vuitton, you can end up doing one of two things. Either you can get them on the pre-loved market or at a consignment shop. Usually when it comes to consignment shops that sell the destination pieces, they might end up being a little bit more expensive, just because you can only get those items if you're in that, at that place, if you're in that destination. So you can either go that route. You'll end up paying a little bit more than what the item actually is or actually retails for, at the place, or if you know someone, they can end up getting it for you and then they can ship it to you. Those are really the only two ways. I know that there are some people out there that have fantastic sales associates that are able to get items shipped out from Hawaii to mainland US, for example. They're able to do that, but for the most part, even when we were in Hawaii, they said no, it's a Hawaii exclusive thing. You have to be here to purchase it. So that's just something to keep in the back of your mind. But I know my gorgeous, gorgeous friend Leoline just picked up the Hawaii Tahitian mini pochette for this year's collection, and she actually ended up getting it on Fashion File. So like I said, you can always go through a consignment shop and you can end up getting it there, but just remember you might end up paying a little bit more than retail price for the item. So hopefully that was able to help, and I hope you have a fantastic time when you are in Europe. And the last question from Alejandra Flores. I've been eyeballing the YSL Blogger Bag, and every time I want to purchase it, I have a second thought. I don't know if it's because of the size or if it's really worth the hype. What are your thoughts on this handbag? This is a wonderful question, and when it comes to the YSL Blogger Bag, it currently retails for $9.95 here in the States. It's available in an array of different colors, and I will make sure and put a link on the description box below for further eye candy if you guys want to check it out. Now, when it comes to the YSL Blogger Bag, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's something about this bag that I'm attracted to. Every time I've seen it, I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's really me. It's very similar to the Gucci Soho Disco, with the biggest difference that the Gucci Soho Disco is a little bit bigger. They both have that beautiful tassel. One thing to note when it comes to the YSL Blogger Bag, because it does have that softer leather versus their pebbled leather, I feel that it might end up showing wear and tear a little bit quicker, but you can still fit quite a bit of items in there. You know, kind of like what I've said about other small bags. Just because they're small doesn't mean that you can't fit a little bit more in there, but it is a little bit smaller than most of the mini bags, like for example that I have in my collection. But I still think it's great. I would have preferred if it also had the adjustable strap. I feel it would make the bag a little bit more versatile because it does have the stationary. It has a stationary what's it called? A strap, if I'm not mistaken. But I really like it, and like I said, it's very similar to the Gucci Soho Disco. Unfortunately, Gucci recently had their price increase not too long ago. So the Soho Disco used to be what, $9.80 here in the States, and now it's $11.90. But I know you can get the color Camellia on Saks for $9.80 still. So just throwing that out there. But anyways, I really like it. Like I said, I feel that it's small, it's dainty, it's perfect for something that I feel that it's a bag that you can really dress up or dress down. You know what I mean? Like you can use it when you're out and about, if you are running errands, and it's small enough to where it would look great if you're going on a date, if you're going out to a dinner or anything like that. So the only downside to me, like I said before, is the pebble or the leather, because it's a little bit softer. You might see the scratches, but I think it's super, super cute. I love that tassel, and I know that a lot of people aren't a fan of the YSL logo because they feel it's a little bit too noticeable, kind of like what I mentioned earlier in the video. I'm a big fan of it. I love the way that it looks, but if you like it, if you're thinking about it, go for it. And as far as the price point, the fact that it's all leather and it has leather lining, I think is a major, major bonus when it comes to this bag versus it having cloth material like some of the other fashion houses have something similar to that. So I like it. If you're still thinking about it, I would wait a little bit, or maybe take all the items that you are hoping to fit in that bag when you're at the boutique and see how it ends up working out. But hopefully that was able to answer your question. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions. I also have a couple questions myself. The first one being, I wanted to get your feedback on my film schedule. Usually it used to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've since changed it to Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just because it works out a little bit better for me. I thought about switching the Wednesday for a Saturday, only because I know that usually when I upload, it's 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. So I'm wondering if I should change the scheduling on that too. I just wanted to get your feedback on it because I know that some of you end up heading to work, and maybe if you wanted to see a video for the weekend, I don't know. I thought about doing like a free day Saturday, something where it's not necessarily luxury related, something where I can just kind of have fun with that video. I can do challenges, I can do whatever it is. So I'd really like to hear your feedback on that. And I know that this is Minks Monday 155. I'm almost a little bit more than halfway to 200. So again, I'm here asking you if you want me to continue to do these or if I should stop at 175 or whatever it is. I don't want it to be repetitive or anything like that. You know, I know that I enjoy Minks Monday Q&A. I know that I think that they're super fun. And I feel like that's when I really connect with you guys. I don't know what it is. I feel like this video, it just seems like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just sitting at home, like I'm sitting here drinking coffee, chatting away with you guys. You know what I mean? Like if we're out and about, you know, having coffee or whatever. So let me know if I should stop at 175 or if I should stop a little bit sooner. Like I said, I don't want it to be repetitive, and that way I can end up concentrating on reviews or anything like that. But again, I come to you because I appreciate your guys' feedback. I appreciate the time that it takes for you guys to leave comments and to like my videos. It just means the world to me. So like I said, I'm all about hearing what it is that you guys have to say about my videos. But again, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And for this week's lineup, I have, I'm going to try to do the comparison video between the mini and the wallet on chain. I'm going to try my hardest. Usually when it comes to comparison videos, they end up being like 35 minutes long. So I have to make sure that I get all of the information that I want to get into that video. And for the third video, or for the other video, I thought about doing another review, but I might end up doing something a little bit different. I still haven't decided. But again, I would love to hear your guys' feedback or just, you know, your opinions on anything that it is that we discuss on Minks Monday. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later this week. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.